and it appears they're trying to disguise attempted extortion and hate crime and possibly terrorism as some form of joke. So but if you succeed, they get to keep the profit or gain or whatever they hope to achieve. And if they don't succeed, then they hope to have it dismissed as a joke. So this is not fun. I'm being targeted in that subway, and some of their police are acting like they're rookies that have just been hired, and you know, they act like they're rookies that have just been hired. So if anything happens, it was done by mistake. And this Eric Adams, when he became mayor, he said he interviewed Sewell for the job and said, because he was expecting the police to kill a black person soon, and to mistakenly, or quote unquote, mistakenly kill a black person soon. And when she interviewed Sewell, and she showed her a simulated video of a black person being mistakenly killed by the police or wrongfully killed by the police, and she cried and cried watching the video and said, that's why I hired her, because her tears would be good PR. And then they said this Sewell abruptly resigned because this Eric Adams was fostering a climate of police indiscipline. And anytime this Sewell disciplines of police, this Eric Adams would override a veto or discipline. So she was creating an atmosphere encouraging the police to go out there more and make more mistakes or whatever. They said it got to the extent that they said, I don't know if it was a black American kid. They said one of these police threatened the kid with a gun because they said the kid threw basketball at the Federal Police Plaza around this area. And they said threatened the kids with a gun, and the kids went and told their parents, allegedly. I'm not really sure about the circumstance of the story. And they said that the parents reported it to CCRB or to the, and Sewell, the police commissioner then last year, she disciplined those police. And it turned out those police were friends with Eric Adams, and it overrode the disciplinary and set them free or whatever, waived it or downgraded it. That's when this Sewell, a black American police commissioner, abruptly resigned last year, June last year of 2023. She said the last day on the job will be June. And now there's a video here, and they always try to attack me when I'm reading the newspaper. There's a newspaper report from the New York Post. The writer's name is McCarthy. On my paternal side, our last name is, on my paternal grandmother's side, the last name is McCarthy. And then they have the police, or this police touching his chest. Touching his chest. He appears to be a person of color police, and all the other ones are smiling and putting their hand on him. My mother died from a heart attack. So I don't know if they're threatening me with more violence from their rookie police, and I've been noticing they're, so I know, in Africa they use drums to convey messages. I don't know if they use pictures to convey messages in this country. And on December 18, 2023, they surrounded me with black rookie police. And the forced me to the train station in the pouring rain, and forced me to carry my belongings down the staircase. And it was like a struggle. I almost fell down the staircase. My leg ended up with all kinds of blisters, where I was quick. So you can see them, touching this police appeared to touch his heart. Because my mother's daughters, Bolani and Flora, feigned mental illness of my mother and got her killed in Bellevue Hospital. And here's the police smiling, touching their hearts and smiling. And the writer's name is McCarthy from the New York Post. And the other time they put me in the psych ward also, there was a New York Post writer, his name was Goodwin. He said Trump has finally won. He wrote an article while I was in the psych ward. I read it, the latest, while I was in the psych ward. And he said, anybody, because back then Trump was creating an atmosphere of anti-immigrant atmosphere. And there was a comment he made, allegedly, people said they heard him say, these black Africans need to go back to the shithole countries or whatever, that they have, and at that time my mother just died, and I was, going to court for the court case, and for the way my mother was killed. I filed a court case against the way my mother's daughters, Bolani and Flora, born in America, friend mental illness of my mother and got her killed in Bellevue. I had a court case against Bellevue Hospital. Then I had a court case against the police department from kicking me and my mother out when she was alive from her home on Staten Island. And she died of she was having heart disease, and she was getting treated, in Bellevue Hospital. And her daughter went and filmed mental illness with my mother and got her killed. They told the hospital to put her in psych ward, even though my mother passed the mental health test. So yes, the police apparently been last seen touching his chest. And lastly, I don't know if they use the picture. I know they say they have gang activities in this country whereby gang members use codes to communicate to each other, use tattoos. I know the U.S. Federal agents, arrest a lot of these foreigners for having tattoos on their body. They say it says messages. So and they're using their rookie police or Chapman. These are some rookie police that just graduated, you know, as you can see. And one of them is touching their chest, and like screaming in excitement, and they have their hands on them. And they've been using the black police ever since this Eric Adam report came out that his campaign manager, Brianna Shook, her home was raided by the feds, because I was on Twitter always talking about this Eric Adam, that he refused to help me get a hotel room. He was helping black Americans that were vacated from their home get a hotel room. There was a fire last year, and there were black Americans that were vacated from their home in the Bronx, and immediately went to the scene and got them hotel rooms, even raised money for them. And the lawyer in New York, at least the policy, since the federal Brooklyn Supreme Court ordered the settlement that anytime the city of New York vacates somebody, they have to put the person in hotel room. So the city of New York vacated me and my mother since 2010 from our home on Staten Island, and they refused to put us in a hotel room. But this Eric Adam knew how to do that. So to some black Americans that were vacated just last year, and put them in a hotel room right away, even raise money for them. And that was the settlement agreement the city of New York entered. That if anybody is vacated by the Department of Buildings and the police, or any agency representing the city of New York, like my mother was vacated, they have to put the person in a hotel room forever so the person gets permanent housing. And they refused to honor that agreement. Said the police should also provide assistance to the person, to help keep the person's property safe and make sure the person is safe as a vacatee. I was vacated, me and my mother, and Eric Garner was trying to help me and my mother with so I filed the court papers against the NYPD and the city of New York for not helping my mother get a hotel room. And I said my mother had a heart problem, she had a heart disease, and I asked the court to intervene in the matter. And Eric Garner was going to be helping me with my court papers. And as soon as Eric Garner told me he was interested in helping me, they went and took Eric Garner dead. Within weeks after he told me, on the same place we were standing on when me and him last spoke. We were standing on Bay Street, and the corner area of Victory Boulevard and Bay Street, in the intersection. We're standing in front of a restaurant there. It's a Spanish restaurant, and I spoke with, and that's where they went and choked him dead. Weeks after I told him he was going to help me. And I had their police, appear to be smiling, excitement, touching their chest. I don't know whether I'm a Nigerian immigrant, but they need to look into this. If I'm killed mistakenly by their police, and they claim to be rookie or whatever, they need to look into this picture, And I've reached out to the press in America, but they don't help me directly. I don't know what's going on. But I remember when the last woman in the psych ward and put their foot on my neck in July 23rd, 2019, soon after they made a decision to fire the guy that killed Eric Garner, because they catch in the police force, after I killed Eric Garner, and he even had evidence that they could have used to prosecute him. They didn't let me testify in court. They hid my evidence from the court. I was recording Eric Garner when he told me he was going to help in my court papers, and then the police officer, I forgot his name, went and choked him dead. And I had evidence. They didn't play the evidence in court. They didn't testify in court, and so they freed the Eric Garner police killer. They freed him. And in July 2019, they had him fired from the job. They were about to make the decision to fire from the job, and they came and put their foot on my neck on Berry and 458. And they were using, I believe those police officers may be rookie also, I don't know, because they were all laughing. So I'm very afraid of their smile. And they say, I have a new rookie set that Eric Adams hired. As an African, they say he controls the Black American Police. He was the head of the Black American Police Association, where Eric Adams was working for the NYPD. And as soon as I was talking about him on Twitter, and then the feds went and raided his campaign manager's office, home, they said Eric Adams came all the way from Washington when we were supposed to have the meeting with federal authorities on getting money for homeless migrants on the street. They say he abruptly canceled that meeting, or allegedly, and came to say he wanted to monitor how the feds was handling, the search of his campaign manager's home. Brianna Shook, he said he was the lead that was special to him. And that same day, as soon as the press reported that story, some Black American cops followed him to the Target store. and were menacing me in the bathroom. And since then, my life has been hell. If I try to use the bathroom, the black Americans are jumping in the bathroom here on Washington Market Park. So this Eric Adams is leading like a black American crusade. He's attacking Africans. And he also said he wants a reset. And it turns out he now admits when he was running for office, he said it's going to cause a reset, it's going to cause a reset. When the police arrested me in 2019, put their foot in my neck, as soon as the Eric Garner's killer was going to be terminated from the police force, because after I killed Eric Garner, he was still on the police force getting money. So that's the routine. When the police kills a black person here in New York, they still remain on the police and still continue getting money. So in 2019, when the judge was getting ready to dismiss him from the post, because they said that was an unlawful chokehold, it was against the department policy, the police department's policy, they can't chokehold somebody. But they kept him on the police force for a long, long time. So around that time period that they were going to dismiss him from the job, I think they even gave him an option to leave on his own. I think he said he wanted to leave on his own and get pension. But the judge ordered him to be dismissed. So around that time period, they came and put their foot on my neck, used their rogue police also on Berry John 4th Avenue. And they stole all my phones, all my recordings, because I was recording a lot of incidents around that time. They was bringing in provocateurs to attack me in that Berry John 4th Avenue area, near to the psych ward. I didn't even know it was a psychiatric hospital, but they used to attack me a lot in that area in 2019. At one point, they sent some provocateurs, little kids that would spit at me and trying to see me as I'm trying to charge my phone, and then I reported it to the police that was in the train station on Berry Avenue train station, and she told me, she told me, she said, soon we're going to steal all your property and we're going to destroy it. And I said, well, I'm not going to do anything about anybody menacing. So I reported her to the IAB, and just like that police officer threatened me, within a few days, they put their foot on my neck. So that was a well-planned thing. And they was laughing, smiling all throughout. And the black American that they killed like that, put their foot on their neck, choked also in Colorado. Even there was no evidence of prior altercation with the police. It was just a one-day thing. And even the police said it was a mistake. They put that police officer in prison in Colorado. Charged them with, convicted him of murder, felony murder. And the EMT that helped them administered drug, ketamine, that caused the black American to go into heart seizure. They charged that EMT with unlawful administration of a drug. And those police officers, there was never a report that those in Colorado were laughing and smiling. These ones that were choking me was laughing and smiling. And some of them were shouting Me Too in the hospital. Because I had a problem with the Me Too also. Because after they killed Eric Garner, I approached the Me Too lawyer, Gloria Orred. I said, no, the NYPD sexually harassed me, and Eric Garner was going to help him with the court papers against the NYPD, and the NYPD was going to choke him dead. And I asked Orred to help me. She said she can't help him if he doesn't go against the NYPD for sexual harassment. So I was going to sue her for cover-up. So they set me up, and they were smiling, so I'm afraid of this smile. And this Eric Adams said, there's going to be a reset. It turns out I used to work for the NYPD computer department. And it always is campaign promise. And the only way they can steal your phone is to arrest you unlawfully and claim all your evidence had been destroyed mistakenly. So that's what they do. So no, so the one is to look into this. I don't know whether pictures are, they even use the prosecutors here in America use pictures, tattoos to convict people. So I don't know why they're neighboring terrorism. And the lady came and was about to punch me in my mouth and said it's going to be on tonight. Tonight is going to be a good night. And she was wearing orange. So I believe she's one of the provocateurs they sent early to keep me in a paranoid state. So they keep increasing the pressure on me like that all day long, so that they can now finally, when they feel they have the perfect moment, and they can just dismiss her as some crazy paranoid lunatic shouting all day. They'll be threatening me all day like that. Then they find the perfect moment they can set me up with. So that female that was about to punch me on the train came on the train with me. They said, I bet she's one of the undercover agents. So we can kill this African. And it's a good day, and you have this guy laughing in the picture, touching his chest. This is how my mother's daughter's born in America, born after I killed my mother. Friend mental illness or whatever, she was getting treated at Bellevue Hospital for heart disease. She fled Pennsylvania to come to New York to get treated. After the police took her home on New York City, my mother went to stay with her daughters in Pennsylvania. And she said they were abusing her there. There was even a case they had to call the police. So one of the daughters drove into somebody's home. All of a sudden, And I don't know whether they called the police. It was like, it was like they were engaging in weird behavior. So our daughters also had a trouble past. They were arrested as kids because the white family they were staying with, you know, they said they beat up the white family and they crushed the bone, and so they had to put them in juvenile detention in Pennsylvania. And when my mother brought me to America, so our daughter set me up, hit me with a car, and put me in the psych ward. Said I was the one that was dangerous. And so, and I had an immigration court case here in New York City, and they had me kidnapped and put in the psych ward in Pennsylvania, and they were lying to the hospital that I don't have an immigration case. Until my lawyer in New York called the hospital, and even the hospital was full, and they never charged them with any crime. But a black American that was put in the psych ward wrongfully, the white person that did it in Colorado police officer is now in prison, convicted of murder, and the EMT that assisted him, is now in prison, convicted of unlawful drug administration. So my mother has been abused, her daughters, and Bellevue Hospital got her killed. The police are abusing me. I'm a Nigerian transsexual. The world has to help me. And they're smiling on Eric Adams. And even Eric Adams said, wants us to continue, the police should be putting the homeless in the psych ward. I said it's the new Esther. My mother's name is Hester. She was killed in 2015. Last year, Eric Adams said it. So I don't know, this Eric Adams, and I used to go in his office when he was borough president in Brooklyn. This has been going on for years. The abuse I've been suffering. I used to go in his office when the policeman let me use the bathroom. As soon as my mother was killed, the police will let me use the bathroom on Cross Street. So I'll go across, they will reject me from the bathroom. So I'll go across the street to Eric Adams' office and be telling people that in Nigeria, in Ohio, a Nigerian became a mayor there, and Ohio where foreigners are allowed to have undocumented foreigners are allowed to have driver's licenses. I said New York needs to stop abusing foreigners like me. And I was hoping that Eric Adams would hear me from his office and come and help me because it was a civil rights activist also. And then they made a statement to the press that you go to Ohio, you go to Ohio, New York is for real New Yorkers. And Jumaane Williams, the Senator Eric Adams, was he and some other top people in New York State. So I'm thinking Jumaane Williams is trying to outro that they are trying to pit people against homeless immigrants, making them look. And this Eric Adams says homeless immigrants have come to destroy New York's economy. And this is gravitating, resentment. So any of these rogues can decide to hurt a homeless migrant like me. And I'm being met by black American police at the Target store here on Greenwich Street. And the black Americans, they will attack me when I try to use the bathroom in George Washington Park. Here, even a black American student was following me to the bathroom yesterday, and another black American